Man City 0, Arsenal 0. We have just drawn 0-0 at the Etihad Stadium. The first time in about 50 games that we've failed to score at home. And it feels like a blow right now from where I'm sat. We cannot deny that, 3 points behind Liverpool with 9 games to go. Given the narrative, given the feeling that City fans are going through, it feels like a blow to me. It feels like a big loss. Now, of course, we've been here before. We've seen Manchester City come back from much further behind than this. But this really was a game to try and make a statement in. Weirdly, I still think we were probably the better team. I mean, when you look at the stats and so on, we were probably slightly better, but it wasn't an inspiring performance. It was a reasonably solid one, it was, but it lacked a little bit of spark, a little bit of magic, a little bit of excitement to get you going. It lacked a little bit of genius, if we're being honest. It was a game that Arsenal were too afraid to lose, so they sat back deep and they were negative, very negative. I'm not going to criticise them for being negative, by the way, because they won't be too bothered about not losing today, but it surprised me. It surprised me how willing they were to sit back and do basically nothing. Have the odd chance here and there on the counter. The amount of cards they should have got, the amount of time wasting, and this may sound like sour grapes, but I don't think Arsenal won morally here today. I think Arsenal have actually they've been set back a little bit. 2 points, they've gone and put 2 points behind Liverpool, and I don't think that was good for them. So I think both teams have lost a little bit here today, if I'm being honest. And I think City we're probably the marginally better team. I don't think the lead's done. I don't think it is. I think it's very much in Liverpool's hands. I think it's going to be a big ask, because the reason I feel that way is because I'm not seeing a lot of magic. Once again, I think it's the manner of the way that we drop points today, which sort of concerns me. I don't feel particularly great at breaking down teams right now, and it does feel like a tiny bit something has changed. KDB particularly was difficult to watch today. He absolutely was. He was nowhere near his best. The overall game, look, if you could look at it in a different way, City were the best team. 72% possession, by the way, is sort of reasonably ridiculous in a game of this magnitude there. Look, City's XG slightly higher than Arsenal's, 0.95. We should have scored. They probably could have scored. They had a few decent chances. 12 shots to their 6. Only 1 on target, though. Only 3 shots on target in the whole game. He's just not good enough for either team, if we're being totally honest. But I wanted to see more than that. I wanted to see a little bit more. When you see the table right there, when you see Arsenal, 2 points behind Arsenal, Liverpool, City 3 points behind, given that Liverpool seem to have some cursed luck going on right now, getting last-minute victories, finding a way to turn it around and win coming from behind against Brighton earlier, it feels like this Klopp farewell tour is pretty much rolling into town, and it's going to be very hard to overturn. So I'm not going to pretend we were awful today, by the way. I think anyone saying we were awful is being unfair. Arsenal are easily the best defensive team in the league right now. And Arsenal have been excellent so far this season. And I thought, if you look at the positives, the way that we controlled the game was really impressive. But we're just lacking magic up top. Like, the midfield and defence did its job. It really did. But the forwards could not really turn anything into anything creative at all. But I was surprised how much of the ball we had. I thought Arsenal would actually come to the Etihad and have a little bit more of the ball. I thought they would do, I feel, though, we're just lacking a little bit of magic. We're lacking a little bit of magic. That is my gut feeling, though. We're not quite as good as last year. And the magic probably is a lack of Mahrez, a lack of Gundogan, maybe De Bruyne getting a bit older. It is those kind of things, Haaland being a little bit off. Because when I look at individual little moments, it's a little bit like where, Haaland, the ball came across to him and he air kicked it. If he touches that, it goes through Raya's legs. It's a goal. Or he guts it back to Diaz and it's a goal. Little things like that don't go down as a chance, but they're the moment you're thinking, what's he doing? Or Ake missing a header from 2 yards out. Those are the moments that sort of define a season. Or Haaland, De Bruyne barely making a single good pass into the whole game. And it just didn't happen today. It didn't happen, And absolutely, we've been in worse positions. But, Danny, we can't always be in worse positions and come from behind. I am not saying the season's over. But it definitely feels difficult, given that there's 3 teams in this race, given that the energies with Liverpool. It could absolutely capitulate for him. I look at Manchester City's fixtures now, and I'll go towards the games that we've got coming up in the league, Of course, we've got Aston Villa at home next up. Palace away is difficult always. Luton at home, you think would win that. Spurs away. Chelsea, of course, in the FA Cup. You got Brighton away, you got Forest, Wolves, Fulham, and West Ham. But we've got to go away to Spurs as well. It is going to be very difficult to do this. 3 points behind is not a lot, but it feels difficult right now. You know, it feels difficult. I can't deny that. It's weird, though, because I'm sat here watching that game, and I can't be overly critical. It's easy to say we need to be more creative and we need to do that. It's just hard against Arsenal. Arsenal won every single game in 2024 until they got to this game. And when you look at the momentum in this game, when you see City, you see City sort of have all the ball and sort of dominate the territorial feeling of this game, it's hard to be too critical. It's hard to be too critical about, the focus of the performance. But I think Pep will probably know that 3 points behind isn't great. I was not expecting perfection today. I was expecting a pretty good performance, and I think that's what we got. But maybe it was not good enough today, It's weird because I don't want to pull the team to pieces. I actually don't. It's weird because two things can be true at the same time where, I don't think we played badly. I just can't sit here and say that. I think we defended well. I think we did. I think the midfield controlled the ball really nicely. I think we were structured. I think we were solid. I think the effort, the work rate was good. But I feel like, sadly, KDB wasn't on it. I feel like Foden couldn't get going. I think Foden should have stayed on the pitch, by the way. It was not shambolic. I mean, shambolic is ridiculous. We're playing Arsenal. Arsenal are a fantastic side, and they could barely get a touch. So shambolic is just not true. It's not true at all. Arsenal are such a good side. They've been excellent. Their results, it was good. I said it was a good performance in some aspects. To Arsenal to only have 20% possession in a game like this, we were the better side. But was it good enough? No. But it was not a bad performance. Anyone saying it's a bad performance is being a bit too harsh, But it was not probably good enough in terms of what we need right now. That's how I feel about it. Look, I don't know how this game is going to unfold, but I do not think we could expect City to blow away Arsenal today. I don't think we could. My honest feeling right now, and I'm willing to change that based on what I see, but my honest assessment, if you ask Manchester City's ability right now, 29 games into the season, where would I rate this Manchester City side? I would say we're not quite as good as last season. Are we good enough to win the league? Potentially. It depends on what Liverpool or Arsenal do. Depends if we can find a bit of magic. It depends on what Guardiola can do. But I feel like we've dropped down a little bit from last season's level. That could have been inevitable given the players that have left. Given the fact that it's just so hard to follow a treble with brilliance, man. It's just so hard to follow a treble, It really is. And I think we're probably underestimating just how special what we've seen over the past few years is. And there's a reason teams don't win 10 leagues in a row in this country. And there's a reason no one's ever won 4 in a row in this country, because it's very hard. I don't think KDB's fitness was an issue. I think he just played badly today, Foden should have, in my opinion, Foden should have stayed on. I think he's earned the right to have the keys, to the team and go at it again. Yeah, I'll go through the players individually. I mean, Ake, of course, is a huge blow. We can't deny that. Ake coming off sort of messed with our shape a tiny bit. Ake is a phenomenal player. I feel like we missed his presence. I thought Rico had a good game, by the way, defensively when he came on, so I can't criticise him. Josko Vardiol, absolutely excellent, by the way, on the ball defensively. I thought Josko was really good. Not obviously great going forward, but I thought he was good. Bernardo will get his flowers, I think, for some people. Only a 7.1 on this rating on SofaScore, but I thought Bernardo Silva was easily one of our best midfielders. He was so tenacious, worked the ball, excellent in many roles. Yeah, really, really good. That's how I feel about Bernardo. I thought he was excellent. Rodri, imperious. I think Rodri was the most composed player on the pitch. As always, we talk about Declan Rice, Jorginho and Odegaard, by the way, but they couldn't get near Rodri today, and that's an actual fact for you there. So if you want something to take from this game, at least you can put the Declan Rice, you can't lace Rodri's boots argument to bed. And he can't. Rodri, far too good on the ball. Much better. Absolutely. That's the only positive I can take really from it, But we're just missing a bit of magic. A super chat from Pujai who says, "We're not that bad, but the goal difference this season really worries me." Thank you so much, Pujai, for the support. I agree. That's my issue too. we just can't seem to create goals right now. We can't seem to create chances. Guys, I know it wasn't the perfect performance and we're 3 points behind, but 200 people are watching and just 30 likes. If you could help me out and do me a favor and give the video a like, let's get to 100 likes. It would be appreciated, even if it's just for the content and helping a fellow City fan. It's always appreciated. I thought Kovacic was good as well. I don't think it was harsh and fair of him to come off as such, but I understood why he wanted to bring Bernardo Silva central and try something else. Doku wasn't terrible, no. But I think he's more effective on the left. Grealish kept the ball. Grealish put out the odd nice crossing. Grealish was Grealish when he came on. But I feel like if Foden and De Bruyne aren't going to step up, then we've got nothing to offer going forward, because the problem is you've got Akanji and Vardiel keeping the width, and they can't offer anything going forward either. So you've got, I think they're quality players, but they're not going to offer anything going forward, Vardiel or Akanji. And then Foden and De Bruyne didn't turn up, so you've got basically nothing out wide, which is my issue. I need some time to get my head around this and see how I feel, but to me, this is a blow today. I don't think City played badly. I think actually we're better than Arsenal, and I think Arsenal should be frustrated. Arsenal fans might see this as a success, but I don't think it is for them. I feel like this is a blow for them too. They might not see it that way, but it is. They play for a draw, and they look for a counter, and that's what they got, Well done to them, but this is a loss for them, in my opinion. Like, they've gone behind here. They need to do better than that. But, yeah. They were the best attack in the league this season, Arsenal. We need to remember that. Best defensive record and best attack in the league were Arsenal. And we've sort of nullified them. So let's look at those positives. I don't get why people are overly negative on the performance. I understand negativity on the result, but I don't think they should be too negative on the performance. To me, and there's no need to be sarcastic and snidey. Like, I am disappointed in the performance, and I think it's set us back, and I feel like it might be too much for us now. Absolutely. We're not out of it until we're out of it, obviously. And my reasoning behind this is I feel like we're not creating enough. But we can't deny that the performance in terms of keeping Arsenal at bay was pretty good. And Arsenal got the best attack in the league, the best defence. They were just hard to break down. We couldn't do it. But I feel like we're lacking a bit of quality. KP Masters. I never said the summer was great. I never did. But I said the players need time, And I think the summer was bad for the players that left, But look. The camp is going to be divided at the end of the season. Guardiola will bang the drum that it's just a miracle to be where we are right now, full stop, given what we've achieved. Not a miracle, that's the wrong word, but it's impressive to be where we are, and it's credible to be where we are, because, look, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where we are right now. I don't know. I will judge the season. I will judge everything at the end of the season. Right now, I feel like we're not quite as good. And I don't think the summer was terrible. I think that people acting like it was terrible or wrong. Maybe it wasn't good enough, but I don't think it was terrible. I think people go through either great or terrible. There's no one in between. People lack nuance. There's no shades of grey. Everything's black or white with people, and that's where I feel about it. And I think you can't judge until the given time, Paqueta was the one, by the way. But either way, why are people acting like the season's over? The season is not over yet, We could win it. Who knows what we're going to win? But either way, I need some time to think about this. I thought City actually played pretty well today. But did they play good enough? Did they get the result they needed? No. Like, some people can't separate the performance away from the result and so on. I don't think we lacked intensity. I think we lacked ability, which is a different thing entirely, which could be concerning. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Guys, I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to go much further than this because I need to think about it a little bit more. And I'll jump on a big live tomorrow and get, I'll do a post-mortem tomorrow of the title race and see how we feel. But we will see how we go. Guys, this is a blow. It absolutely is. Thanks for watching. I don't know how I feel yet. 3 points behind isn't a disaster, but it's not good. I thought City played well, but not great. The result worse than the performance. Up with the Blues. Bye-bye.